Hey, what's up guys? Hey, it's Gemini, and hey, today I'm going to be making a video response to FreakinYaYa88. You know, we've had this ongoing thing, you know, where we talk about WCW back and forth, what we liked and what we didn't like. So I thought it would be an interesting idea. He made a video response to me about how I thought WWE was pissing all over WWE, or WWE was pissing all over WCW on the Nitro DVD. And I'm not going to change my stance on that, because I truly feel that the DVDs they come out with today are what the WWE envisions about WCW, what they remember, but they don't really know, if that makes sense. You know, it's like, I was talking to my buddy Michael Young on Twitter, and he says the people who made the Nitro DVD aren't wrestling fans. And I agree with it. I think it's some asshole sitting in a TV production studio. So anyways, let's get to the response here. First point FreakinYaYa88 brought up was, I had said in my video that Randy Savage and Ric Flair wrestled 5 or 6 times. I take that back. I didn't exactly count how many matches, but when I was watching the first Nitro disc, it was like Savage and Flair in the ring every time. And it's like, whether it's a tag team match, you know, a 3-on-2 match, or anything, you see him wrestle so much. And I saw him wrestle so much in January of '96. They wrestled Clash of Champions. They wrestled the Super Bowl '96 in St. Petersburg, Florida. They wrestled all over the place. They wrestled on Nitro. They wrestled on Saturday night. They had a feud, you know, where Ric Flair took Miss Elizabeth, and then Miss Elizabeth turned on Savage at Super Brawl in '96. You know, it's just like, that's why I said, you know, I had seen it 5 or 6 times. But I felt like that their match selection on this DVD was poor. I honestly felt like that. I was like, come on, give me Juventud Guerrera. Or not Juventud, but give me Rey Mysterio out there. Juventud, I think, came a little later. But they had so much great cruiserweight action. Diamond Dallas was so hot at the time. You know, they could have done so many different things than just have Savage and Flair. But the person who sat in the studio, who was pretty much a non-wrestling fan, they're like, well, we're just going to put the big stars out there because it's only the big stars that sell this DVD. Bullshit, because you had Dean Malenko, Rey Mysterio out there tearing the house down every night. They could have influxed a hell of a lot more of the good in-ring action that they had than just Flair and Savage every time. Okay, now the next point Miguel hit on, sorry, I think I just broke character there, but okay, he talked about the Scott Hall promo. Okay, he said that, you know, it was a waste of disc time. Bullshit, it was a waste of disc time. That is so far from the truth about it being a waste of it. That promo, I watched it live, May the 27th, 1996. That promo was not just a waste of disc space. That promo was the promo that changed it all. And when I say that, when you were watching that live, you couldn't take your eyes off it. You were hooked. You had to watch Nitro every week from that point. That's how historic that promo was. And WWE watered that shit down, and they made it look like it was just another promo. No big deal. Whoopee, NWO. It's not just another promo. That was a huge fucking deal. That was the promo that made you not watch WWE anymore and watch WCW. I know. I lived it. Okay. Next point, okay, he talked about the 4 Horsemen angle, and he said, what did Yaya say? He says, Horseman angle, you know, WCW did it. WCW, they actually had regrets about doing that, and they shouldn't have done that, and the 4 Horsemen angle was disgusting. That's some kind of shit you could edit out, and I know they're trying to show what dickheads the NWO was, but man, I mean, you're disrespecting the 4 Horsemen. I mean, the 4 Horsemen, if it wasn't for those 4 Horsemen that the NWO was making fun of, there would be no NWO, there'd be no DX, there'd be no Legacy, you know, there'd be no whatever, the Evolution, there'd be none of it. And WCW's biggest mistake is they didn't pay homage to their warriors. The 4 Horsemen were what put that company in their back in the 1980s, and they ran through the roof. I mean, they were the original gang in professional wrestling. And he made another point about Jim wants to see all the early stuff before Nitro, you know, Masahiro Chono and Muda and all those guys. You're damn right I don't want to see them, because 1992 WCW was awesome. But I know Nitro wasn't around until '95, so I couldn't see those guys. So, point understood. Okay, next thing he talked about Michael Buffer. Now I'm going to get my little rant about August the 4th, 1997. Okay, the day that Lex Luger in Auburn Hills, Michigan defeated Hulk Hogan for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. It was portrayed on this DVD to be another match. Okay, that's how they played it out. Just another match, Luger won, blah, blah, blah. Okay, at that point, Hogan had been the champion for 2 years. WCW had been getting its ass kicked by the NWO for 2 years. And when Luger won that title and all the momentum swung back to WCW, it was not another match. It was a huge match. And to this date, August the 4th, 1997, I still talk about it on Skype calls to this day because it was that historic when Luger put him up in the torture rack and made Hogan tap out and he won the world title. I know he lost it 6 days later at Road Wild, August the 10th, 1997 in Sturgis, South Dakota. But point being, it was a big deal, and that's why I was pissed off that Buffer wasn't out there, because Buffer gave it the big fight feel. Buffer made it feel real. You knew you had a big match, a big deal, when Michael Buffer was out there. And that's the thing that pissed me off about it, is WWE shaping the minds of the young fans who didn't see it with their own vision. Bullshit! Keep the integrity of the way it was, because every time that WWE goes on a DVD and they lie, I'm going to call them on their bullshit, because I lived it, and they can't just change to what their vision meets. And that's what pisses me off so much about this DVD. They change it for their own convenience. If you got a young kid, 15, 16 years old, whatever, never saw WCW, he's going to believe whatever shit they put on that DVD, and it wasn't that way. And you can ask any of the old schoolers, you need to keep the integrity of the way it was. And Buffer was out there, and when Luger won the world title from Hogan after a 2-year run, it was a big deal. It wasn't just a little Jimmy thing. It was a big deal. It was not just horse shit. I mean, that was huge. I mean, the Palace of Auburn Hills went nuts when Luger won that title, and they just portray it as just another match. And I understand that Buffer was expensive and they don't want to pay him and blah blah blah. That's fine. I get the rules, okay, but it just pissed me off because I bet you nobody caught that was David Penzer's voiceover. I caught it because they're dicking with the product, they're dicking with the integrity, they're dicking with what was. Okay, so and then he went on. He said something about Booker T and Lance Storm. Okay, Booker T and Lance Storm in August of 2000, when WCW was almost dead. 2 great wrestlers, very, very bad show. Okay, that's why I say snooze fest, because I watched Jeff Jarrett and Booker T wrestle a match at New Blood Rising a little bit later that month. It just about damn near put me to sleep. Booker became a world champion in the year 2000, and it was kind of a lame duck run, because he never really pinned the champion. They kind of had a thing at Bash to the Beach, where him and Jeff Jarrett went back and forth, and it was weird. WCW in 2000, not very good, and that's probably why I didn't have good memories of it. Okay, my last point being, I didn't say that Sting and Flair had nothing to do with WCW being the last one. I said that Vince McMahon's buyout didn't need to be on the DVD. That was not the best of Nitro. That was bullshit. Tonight's the season finale of Nitro, and I have the WCW in the palm of my hands, and blah, blah, blah. Credit to Vince McMahon for putting the WCW out of business, but if WCW would have had better management, man, their wrestling talent was superior to anything WWE put out there. And one of the biggest flaws, one of the biggest things that happened was the fact that they didn't have anything after NWO. They put all their eggs in one basket with NWO, and then when NWO was gone, they didn't build new stars while they were gone, and all these guys went over to WWE and became huge stars. Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio, Dean Malenko, they all went over to WWE and they became huge stars. So, anyways, I'm just going to go and wrap this because I'm on a rant. Nobody can tell me that WWE does not intentionally dick with the product. They intentionally dick with the product to meet WCW for their vision. It's a lot like when ECW was on, they had the ECW show on WWE in 2006 or whatever. Why do you think Paul Heyman left? Because it was garbage. That was Vince McMahon's vision of how he was going to run ECW, and it was a bunch of horse shit. And this is Vince's way of telling people about WCW. And I understand business, and I understand putting big stars on a DVD to sell it, but They could have done a much, much better job on this. The DVD was poorly done. The integrity was not kept. Don't lie to the fans. That's what I'm saying. Don't lie to the fans. Be honest. You know, they make so many cuts. They make so many editor decisions by people sitting in a suit and a tie who don't know jack shit about wrestling. From this day forward, every time WWE tells a fucking lie about WCW, I'm going to come on this fucking camera and I'm going to tell the truth. Because they do all kinds of sneaky shit and they don't expect the fans to notice. I noticed because WCW was my life for years. And one guy says, Gemini didn't watch the Nitro DVD. Dude, I sat right next to Yaya. You know, we were sitting on a Skype call when I did it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so don't tell me I didn't watch the damn thing and I don't know any about wrestling and I'm a moron and this and that. Dude, I lived it. You could believe me, not believe me. I lived it. I have the August 4th, 1997 live Nitro right here. I have the live Scott Hall promo right here, live on Nitro, because I recorded it, you know, when I was a kid. You know, I mean, I'm legit as you get, you know, and so somebody says, you don't know, you didn't watch. Bullshit, I didn't watch it. Anyways, I'm pissed off. I'm Gemini Miguel. I broke character here. Yeah, you're the best, and I look forward to doing more responses with you in the future. See ya.